I've had my Segway Ninebot MAX for about a year now, and I've put around 350 kilometers on it in that time, and overall I love the e-scooter. I live in an urban area, so most of my riding has been done on city streets with traffic and pedestrians, although I have taken it off-road on some light trails a few times. Overall, I think the Ninebot MAX is an excellent buy, but it's not without its drawbacks. Here are 5 things I love about my Segway Ninebot MAX, and 4 things I don't love. Welcome to Sneaky Pete's Product Reviews. Let's start with what I love about my Ninebot MAX, and the first thing is the battery. The battery life on the Segway Ninebot MAX is absolutely insane. I can rip around for 30-45 minutes, and the battery display's only gone down by maybe 1 tick. I think unless you're traveling 30 kilometers each way to go to work, the battery life should be absolutely adequate for you. But keep in mind, as long as you can charge the scooter at work, then I think a 30-kilometer ride each way to work is going to be no problem at all. I also like that it has the power adapter built into the scooter itself, meaning you only need to bring this small, light, and easy to transport plug with you if you want to charge it on the go. Next up is the power. The torque on the Ninebot MAX is impressive. Now, I don't weigh that much, but we even sometimes double up on the scooter, which puts us over the weight capacity, and it still has decent pickup and we can easily achieve top speed. But if you're someone like myself and you're in the 150 or below sort of a range, the pickup is almost instantaneous and you are at top speed in mere seconds. You can tell that the Max obviously has a governor in the system that keeps it to 30 kilometers an hour, but I bet if you're able to remove that governor, I think you could easily hit the 50 kilometer an hour sort of a range, no problem. Even when I go up a reasonably steep grade, I'm able to maintain and achieve that maximum power speed the entire time. It has to be a super steep hill before I'm not able to do that, and again, that's all going to depend on the rider's weight. Next is the solid feel and good build quality. The overall build quality feels great on the Ninebot MAX. With the folding handlebar, I was worried that it was going to be shaky or feel a little bit sketchy when you're riding at maximum speeds. However, it both locks and then clips into place, and while you're riding it, it feels like it's a one-piece construction with no shakiness. The scooter gives you confidence that it's made to take some hits and bumps. Even when you're traveling at maximum speed over uneven pavement, it's not sketchy and it doesn't feel scary, and the platform that you ride on is very large and solid. 350 kilometers is a decent amount to put on it, and it still hasn't developed any creaks or rattles or weird squeakiness or anything like that. It's still just as quiet as the first day I started riding it, which is extremely quiet if you're on smooth pavement. The next thing that I love is that it's really easy to use. The interface for the Ninebot MAX is extremely simple. The entire system is operated with a single button, and through a series of presses, double clicks, and holds, you control everything. There's a single brake pedal to help bring you to a stop, and then it has a standard thumb accelerator. One thing that's cool, in addition to helping you reach speed, the accelerator can also be used to slow you down by way of something called regenerative braking. This means that when you take your thumb off of the accelerator, it's going to slow you down, and that braking energy is going to be used to recharge the battery. This can really help manage your speed. You can almost not use your brake pedal at all if you're in a certain sort of a terrain, and it really helps to maximize your battery life. The Ninebot MAX also has a totally optional app, but it's worthwhile downloading to try it out. You can map your rides to see exactly where you went and the speed you traveled at, but it also keeps track of your scooter's odometer, and it can be used to update the firmware as well. It's nice that you can operate the scooter completely without the app though, for those people who don't want to add in the extra tech. The last thing I love is the riding position. The Segway Ninebot MAX has a very comfortable riding position, even for longer rides. If you're at the very low or the very high end of the average height range, your experience may vary a little bit, but for the vast majority of people, the handlebars sit at a very comfortable height to keep your arms fresh while still maintaining total control. The deck is also quite wide and it's long, and this lets you stand on the scooter in a variety of positions. I think the best position is to have your back foot sideways and then your front foot facing forwards. This allows you to have maximum control and stability, and it really helps for cornering as well. So there's 5 things I love about my Segway Ninebot MAX, but what are the 4 things I don't love about it? Well, the first thing is that it is big and heavy. There's a reason that this scooter feels so solid when you're riding it, and that's because it's constructed from large, thick segments of metal. While some scooters say, hey, this is good to take on transit, this one doesn't. When they made the Max, they focused on it being rugged with a really long range, so the build was focused on strength and durability rather than being lightweight. The Ninebot MAX weighs 41 pounds, and you may say to yourself, hey, I can pick up 40 pounds, that's no problem. But picking up a 40-pound dumbbell is very different than picking up this large and awkward scooter. For reference sake, it's almost the depth of an elevator, and then the handlebars don't fold in, so you need to be aware if you're bringing this one around groups of people. If you're considering buying this, I would really think about how much you may need to carry it in your day-to-day use when you decide if you want something this heavy and rugged. The next thing I don't love about the Ninebot MAX is that there are no shocks. There is no shock absorption on this system at all, save for the 10-inch air-filled tires. While some e-scooters have solid rubber tires, this one has high PSI air-filled tires, which is definitely going to help absorb some of those bumps, but it's not going to compare with proper front and back shocks on a system. If you like to travel at a good speed and regularly go up curbs or go over bumps, I would recommend keeping your knees bent a little bit, as that helps absorb some of the shocks, and even just pull up on those front handlebars a little bit when you go up over curbs, as I think it's going to be really hard on the scooter if you just bang into them. I really feel like the Max could use an extra inch, maybe even 2 inches of ground clearance. And I'm not trying to go over jumps or hop up curbs or anything like that, but I just find in my day-to-day using it, the bottom of the scooter scrapes against the concrete more than I would like. If you go over speed bumps or similar obstacles, you're pretty much guaranteed to scrape the bottom of your scooter, especially if you're a heavy rider. The one thing you want to do to mitigate this, just make sure your airs are filled up to the proper PSI, as if you don't have the tires properly filled up with air, the scooter's going to sit lower and it'll scrape more. Finally, I'd like to see stronger brakes on the Ninebot MAX. With the regenerative braking, you can do an amazing job managing your speed, but I find when I'm in an urgent stopping situation and I need to hit the handbrake hard, I'm just closer to maximizing that handbrake travel than I would like to be. Considering that this is a heavier scooter which quickly gets up to full speed, you may need to do some substantial braking, so I would really like to see them upgrade the stopping capabilities on the Max. So in summary, I have really enjoyed owning my Segway Ninebot MAX, and as I don't have to take it on transit or lug it around a lot day to day, I'm glad I went for a more rugged and substantial model rather than something that was lightweight and would probably feel a lot cheaper. It still runs like the day I bought it, and I don't feel like I have to babysit or go easy on it. Just treat it reasonably. The range that you get on the Max makes it a totally viable and useful personal transportation device, and then the performance that it offers makes it a really enjoyable, purely recreational vehicle as well. Just depends on how you want to use it. Thanks a lot for watching. Consider throwing the video a like and subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content, and we'll be back soon with another video.